Okay. Lorna, good morning. Good to have you. Welcome home.
Thank you so much.
You're just here for this month?
Just here for this week.
Just this week?
Yes.
What is your purpose here?
I am here to spend time with family. I haven't been home in 6 years, right, just before COVID hit. And so here I am, and I wanted to be of service to the community.
How has that been being home for so long?
I've seen a lot of changes. Right? It's like Jamaica has grown up a lot.
We have
this COVID era, you know, it become more digitized, which is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great things that are happening. And I've also had a chance to spend some time in Treasure Beach. It's my first time being there.
Wow.
I remember that I learned about the South Coast being hit by the hurricane.
Yeah.
And so it's my way of, you know, experiencing it for the first time. And
You are know where Harris's mom is. You're in Canada. You're Canadian now. You left Jamaica at what age?
19.
19. It's a long time ago. How did you end up leaving us?
It's a good question. I did not have a vision for myself to leave, but my mom had a vision for me because she couldn't afford to send me to university. And so she dreamt it up that I would be able to travel and live abroad and attend university. And so my mom's vision became a reality through a stranger.
Wow.
Yes, and sometimes those miracles happen. Sometimes, you know, and sometimes you don't have a vision for yourself. Somebody else holds that vision for you until you can have it for yourself. So my first reinvention was that, because I left here working at the telephone company and went there and became a babysitter for a year till I got a job as a customer service rep, and you know, till I went to work at an insurance company as an accounting clerk and worked there, and then went to university full time because I had to fulfill my mom's vision.
Wow.
So it's those kinds of things, but I had to struggle through for years, really, you know, because I didn't go like an immigrant. You know, I didn't have my landed status before I left. So struggling through that, a divorce in the process, mom eventually joining me, and my younger siblings, because you know sometimes you have to reach back and help those who helped you.
Oh yeah.
Mom's vision fulfilled something for me. I had to help my siblings, and so yeah.
Two sons. Earning a degree.
Yes, and I got that degree while the second one was still in utero. Yeah, and managed to get it with an honors. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This says your journey has taken you across 5 countries, 4 continents. Tell me about that.
So I don't know where they get 4 continents,
Oh.
but
4 countries for sure.
it's actually 3 continents, right?
Okay.
North America, Asia, and Africa.
Yeah. How?
So we've lived in Canada, from Canada to South Korea, from South Korea to Panama in Central America, then to the US, and we are now in Taiwan. So, yeah, but I have taught and spoken on the African continent as well.
Beautiful. For someone who's watching the maybe they reinvent myself. Where do I start? Where do I start?
It's a good question. I think it starts with recognizing what's happening in your life. There are times where you're reinventing yourself because someone has a vision for you, as my mom did in that situation where she was like, there's something that you need to do. But there are times when life forces you to reinvent yourself. Right? There are times when, for example, divorce happens or a diagnosis happens. My mom had a diagnosis. She was diagnosed with cancer. And I started to ask myself at this point, what it was that life was showing me. What do you want me to do, God? I had burnt out from my social work job. I was already divorced with the 2 boys. And in that quiet space, I heard, you're not home yet. You have work to do. And I was able to get into teaching, got my teaching certificate from social work, and ended up going to South Korea and being there a year later, met my now husband and started over. So there's all kinds of things, but sometimes life is prompting us. We're getting messages all the time in our world. And if we're tuning in to listening to those messages, we will know when it's our time to reinvent. And reinvention just means starting fresh, embracing change and living life
And
fully.
living your own vision.
Living your
had a vision for you, but at some point we've got to discover what our own vision.
See here, that piece. And I think what happens for a lot of women 40 and older, which is the group that I choose to target, is that we get attached to our careers, we get attached to the children, we get attached to our families, and we're sort of sandwiched in that, getting so tightly wound up around helping others that we're not paying attention to what's happening to ourselves.
Yeah.
We burn out, we break down, and then we find ourselves in a muddle. So it's good for us to pause and not allow life to force us to change. It's good for us to choose to change.
Yeah. But
There's a
sometimes
whole
the forcing
different word.
nobody knows, Lorna.
No, it's true.
The forcing, exactly.
Where
Sometimes
we're
you
supposed
get the
to
wrong job and you get fired. Say, Lord Jesus, and then when you get fired, and all you think it's the end.
It's true.
You discover that you can step into your own passion and purpose.
You're not kidding.
And the reinvention, the beauty of reinvention is that you can change the awful things that have happened
Yes.
because they all have value.
You're so right about that. Even in a divorce.
Yes.
Sometimes you think you're being rejected, but you're being redirected.
Yes.
Because God has a better plan.
What happens when, in some instances, you put in the work? So you've been at this workplace for so long, and you're at a supervisor level, but it's time to reinvent yourself. But you say, oh my God, I put in so much work to be here.
Yeah.
Or it's the house that I bought.
Yeah.
Or it's the career but I don't want to leave it. I don't want to migrate. Where must migrate?
Yeah.
How do you let go?
That piece is about we become too attached to our stuff, to our lives, to our whatever it is that we've created. It's like we're making it an idol in a way, because if we are people of faith, and I believe Jamaicans are generally speaking people of faith, we recognize that God sometimes has a plan that is different than the one that we currently have. Very often, you've created something and it's time for us to move. Change is a very important part of it, and we have to learn to let go of the fear. Fear is always going to be there, and attach ourselves to faith and hold on to the fact that the only thing that is constant is change. And you have to be willing to evolve and change. You can't stay the same. Constant is a constant.
And so how do you know when it is that time?
How you know?
Yes, when you get to that point where you're saying, okay, I guess others looking out will think I'm where I am supposed to be with this job, but it's not making it for me. Is that gut and intuition?
Absolutely. Just like I said, we're always hearing messages if we're willing to listen. And I encourage people to journal. We have a journal, and I want to. And I'm constantly writing. And you're getting those messages, and in the stillness of the hour, you hear God speaking to you and telling you what to do. And so if you're willing, you have to be willing to do that, to take those tiny steps. You don't have to have it all figured out. Many times that's what we want. We want it all organized and set up for us before we take the first step. Be willing. The world don't work that way. Take the first step, even if you don't see the whole staircase. Who said that? Martin Luther King. Yeah. So we have to do those kinds of things in order for us to make life better.
Yeah.
And I share some of that in my book,
Born to Rise.
Born to Rise, a journey from setbacks to comebacks and lessons learned. And in it I share some of my absolute toughest things that I faced in life and how I've been able to come back from those. But it's not just about me. Yes, and it's not just about me, it's also about the readers. And so I share tips and strategies to help them to shift. I also have a YouTube channel, Reinvented Life with Lorna, and on that I share my real, raw, relatable stories of how I've actually been able to do that, and strategies to help women 40 plus to navigate reinvention.
So he was done. There was more for you.
See, that's the piece.
Yeah.
I realized I thought it was done when I got to Panama. I was going to relax. And God said, you have not arrived yet. You're not there yet. So, going to the US 10 years, spent 10 years there, and just constantly, there's always something more. If we're willing to listen God is always calling us to something greater. And here in Jamaica, I believe that every one of us, we have something that we're driven. So if we could just allow ourselves to be driven by God's purpose for us.